Okay, welcome back. I know last time we said we're going to move on to the top cabinets, but what I want to actually do with the top cabinets is I want to make that optional. Some of the cabinets nowadays have the door panels you can push to open with hidden hardware. Otherwise, if you want to use the hardware and the handles from the bottom, you can copy those and bring those up and rotate. You can put them on any direction that you want for, let me just grab and isolate just the one here. So you can use your shift tool, you can bring those up. Now if you're gonna, I'm gonna copy that. If you're gonna use that, you're gonna have to rotate it and then place it. So I would use my absolute rotation here. We're going to turn it around 180, so it'd be 90 plus 180 should be 270, and that will flip that so that you can grab onto the hardware from the bottom. So you could move that over and line these up. So remember, when you're lining stuff up, it's probably going to be easiest to do that in your world over here and use your move tools. You could also turn these and stand them up vertical. You could put knobs on here and design your own knobs, or you could just skip that. Okay. So actually, and then you're going to have to scale those down to make them fit if they're not, and then change the door cabinet. So I'm not going to be that worried about specifically the door handles and stuff on here. But what I do want to show you to finish out this assignment so that we can move on is another way of modeling the wall over here. If we look back at the original, these two panels here were kind of empty. The rest were modeled in this pantry box and had some doors on it. So how could we do that quick and easy? There's a number of different ways to do it. We could add boxes in here, but let's explore some of our options here real quick. If I convert this to an edible poly, I can extrude this surface here. I'm going to go into polygon and click on just this surface, and I can extrude that. Let me set up my window here so that I can see. And I'm going to bring that out to this line basically. And I'm going to rotate my view. So if I extrude this over, I keep going until I reach that line. Okay, now my box is the right size for this wall. So I'm just going to think of this as my basic cabinet shape. But how do I get those cupboard doors in there quick and easy? If you remember back when we first explored some of our polygons, I'm going to flip this around to the back, and I think the best tool for this is actually going to be using our Swift Loop tool. Okay, so we have our surface here, and I am going to go up to my Swift Loop tool, and I can maximize my viewport here. And what I actually want to do is each one of these lines here, let me do, just want to have my viewport kind of straight on. So each one of these lines here, we want to have this line up and put a break. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in, and I am following along here. It's a little fussy for where it's giving us these lines, but I'm going to line those up and put a break on each one of these cabinet pieces. Okay. I don't think I need one on this piece, but I want one for each one of these doors, if that makes sense. So I can put one on here. I can put one on here. I'm gonna get a little picky. Okay. So when I want to see which ones I've actually done, I need to, my edge faces are turned on. This will give me a view of which ones I've actually done. So I still need to come up here and put a few more breaks in, and then I have to do my vertical. And so there's one, and here's one. So the thing to remember when you're using this Swift Loop tool is it's going to give you the breaks for whichever X or Y coordinate is closest to here. So if it's not cooperating and giving you the choice you want, then you might have to pick a different one and come back to it. So that would be close enough for my intents and purposes. And if you're zoomed in too much, it might not do it as well. And all right, so just to get the idea, and I'll let you guys rock and roll from here. It's a little glitchy. Okay. So these are all modeled. I still need a Swift Loop. Well, this is going to get deleted out of there anyways. This one has one here, this one has one here, so those doors are going to be able to be extruded. I think we are good. This one needs one here, right? So let's do one here and there. All right, so we have our loops in. What does that mean for us? Now we can turn this around and we can actually start to model this. So we want to delete, I got to turn my Swift Loop off. I can select my polygons. I can select any panels in here that I want with my polygon and delete those out of there. So 1, 2, right? And this one. Okay, do you see an issue with that though? Now I have a big gaping hole in there and I can see the back. So delete is probably not the best solution. So what would you want to do if you want to push these in and basically have it model the edges as you do it? A better tool would be to use our extrude tool, and instead of extruding out like we're going to do for these cabinet doors, let's extrude in. So I'm going to go undo here. This is what I want you to start thinking about as you're modeling your own stuff. That what's going to be the easiest and fastest tools to do the job, because there's going to be a lot of different ones you can use. So I want to go 1. I'm going to hold Control 2 and 3 because I want to also take that middle shelf out of there. And then I'm going to go to extrude, and you know, I could pop it out this way if it was doors, but if I want a space, I'm going to extrude it back and into the back of my cabinet here. Okay, so there, that's extruded. And then the rest of these doors, I can select 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and I can extrude those out. Okay, and those we're just going to try to guesstimate and have those come out like 3/4 of an inch. And that's kind of the quick and easy way of doing that cabinet. Are there other ways? Absolutely. But if you have a better way, feel free to use it. Feel free to call me over and show me. But that's as far as we need to get this cabinet for all intents and purposes. Now what you're going to do, save that. Okay, I'm going to actually save it as a different letter here so I don't write over my sample. And then you are going to put that into your scene. I have a different E already saved. So now you're going to turn your scene back on, unisolate, and what you want to do is you want it to look similar to this. You're going to turn it on. You're going to slide it over into your house I put a biped in mine too, just so that we can see what it looks like. Okay, slide it into place into the corner of your room, and this doesn't have that wall modeled, but you will be looking good in your space. That's it for this. Once you have it in your room, then take an image of it, do a render, and submit that for your points for this exercise, and turn it in. And we look forward to seeing you in the next video. And we got some more exciting stuff coming up, so we will see you shortly. Thanks for all your hard work.